Hey guys, this is V-Man from No Budget Productions. All right. So this is my thoughts on Masters of the Universe Revelation. So there's been a lot of discussion on uh, on this new series coming out, and I am a huge Masters of the Universe. I'm a huge He-Man fan. As a little kid, I dressed up as him one year for Halloween. I would grab a stick and I would run through the yard yelling, "I have the power!" My kid now, he has the new He-Man toys that they have out, and him and I will play hours on end. As He-Man, Skeletor. I just a couple days ago, if you guys are watching me on Facebook, you guys saw that he just got Panther. Like he loves He-Man about as much as I do. So this new series that's coming out, I am excited. I loved the 2002 series that came out. I thought the storytelling of that, the continuity was great with the Snake Men, the Horde. What was going to be in the third season, the Horde. I thought it was really great. Before we start on that, though, Dave G Sound, you have the power. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. William Jackson says, man of his word. Of course, I told you guys I'd be back in about a half hour or so, 45 minutes. Here I am at 4:30. I told you I'd be back. Of course. I never like to disappoint you guys. You guys, like I've always said, you guys keep the channel going, and I like to chit chat with you guys and see what you guys think. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got. Zam, what's up, guy? He says, good morning. Well, good morning to you, my friend. Welcome. I hope we can engage in some conversation for this. I hope I can get some insight. I love He-Man, so it's I'm very excited for this. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see what we got here. So, you did a trailer reaction to? Well, dude, like I said, I'm not sure if it will let the link go in the chat. I'm not sure. I'm never good on that stuff. Put the link in the chat here, and I'll put it up on the thing. Go ahead, put it in the chat in the chat, and we'll so people can click over on that when they're not. So people here, when they're done, they can go, or people who are watching, on the rewind, they can click on the chat window and they can find you there. Guys, go to NerdTube. When you're done watching this video, go on over to NerdTube and click on their trailer reaction to He-Man, because of course it got me excited watching it. So yeah, we always support good content, and geeks. I'm always saying geeks helping geeks out. So yeah. If it doesn't show up in the chat, because like I said, I don't know if YouTube's algorithms, since you're not a mod, I don't know if it'll go through. And I'm very illiterate on all of the YouTube stuff. So if it doesn't go through, I may, we'll put it in the description of the video if it doesn't go through. But either way, all of you guys are hearing it here. Head on over to NerdTube and check out his reaction. Just type in NerdTube He-Man trailer reaction. So there we go. So anyway, so that being said, here we go. Hold on just one second. Zam just sent me the link to it, but I can't type it in the window it has for StreamYards. It doesn't I never type, like, usually that's why I say Frank always types that stuff in. I'm mobile, so it never does that. Hold on just a second. Let me log into my computer here and see if I can do it that way. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay. So here, okay, so I've got that. Let me go on over to your guys' channel. It's okay, it's on NerdTube, so I can close over. I can't get on Facebook on my work computer, so let me go over to your guys' YouTube. Let's see, NerdTube. Let's see, He-Man reaction. Okay, there we go. Masters of the Universe Revelation trailer reaction. There we go, NerdTube. Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm getting that, copying that. Now, let's see. Go back to mine. And here we go. And putting it in the chat here for you guys. There we go. So I think that, and then there we go. So, okay, so all of you guys, and now logging off of my work computer, sign out. So there we go. Okay, so yeah, that's the one. Okay, so there we go. Robert Pearson says, I'm looking forward to it. From the trailer, it's very faithful to the original cartoon, except Adam is not looking identical to He-Man. That does make sense. No, and that's the that's the thing. Bless your heart. Vance has the power. Right? So I mean, and that's the thing, like it makes sense, like, and that was something that they had in the 2002 cartoon. Like they made Adam look different than He-Man. And that was always something that bothered me about the original cartoon, was you've got this guy who has the same weird haircut. He's got the same like power-packed muscles, you know, who's just wearing purple and pink, you know, who's just got oh, thank you, William Jackson, appreciate it. You know, and that's the who looks identical to He-Man, you know, talks almost identical to He-Man in every fashion, and yet, you know, they're all like, man, I wonder where He-Man's at. You know, it's just like, you know, it's less believable than the Clark Kent Superman thing. So I didn't mind when they changed in the 2002. Exactly, he was the Clark Kent of Eternity. No, and that's exactly it. Exactly. And William Jackson says, and it's the same cat, right? Down to the stripes. Exactly. That's why the 2002 didn't bother me when, you know, Cringer grew to be Battle Cat, Adam grew to be He-Man. That never bothered me. So when I'm seeing something very similar with Revelations. So let me go ahead and read a synopsis for Masters of the Universe Revelation in case you haven't seen it. And again, just to remind you guys, I do have a link to Zam's reaction to the video. Jump on over to NerdTube. I've got the link in the description. One more time, it's there up on screen. I know you guys can't click on it, but head on over to the chat and click on that link. It's in there, or head on over, type in NerdTube Masters of the Universe reaction, and it's in there. So head on over there. Like I said, Geeks Helping Geeks. You know, check them out. Give it a thumbs up. Watch it. Subscribe to them. William Jackson, I don't know how to pin it. Again, I'm very illiterate on these things. I don't know how to do that. That's why Frank always takes care of that stuff for me. He's very smart in it. I'm not. I don't pretend to be. So I think we extended myself on what I just did. So so head on over there and do that for him and watch it. I'm sure it's probably good. I checked out their Sopranos sequel thing earlier, the reaction to that, and that was really good. So if you're a fan of Sopranos, check that out. But anyway, synopsis of Masters of the Universe Revelation is a radical return to Eternia. Revelation is a direct sequel series to the classic era of Masters of the Universe, featuring fan favorites He-Man, Orko, Cringer, and Man-at-Arms. The story pits our heroic warriors and guardians of Castle Grayskull against Skeletor, Evil-Lyn, Beastman, and the vile legions of Snake Mountain. But after a ferocious final battle forever fractures Eternia, it's up to Teela to solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power in a race against time to prevent the end of the universe. Her journey will uncover the secrets of Grayskull at last. This is the epic He-Man and the Masters of the Universe saga fans have waited 35 years to see. Now, voicing He-Man is Chris Wood, who, if you guys don't know who that is, the right on, man, dude. Breakfast sounds really good right now. I'm hungry. All I had last night was salad, and I'm hungry myself, man. So those of you who don't know Chris Wood is, if you guys watch Supergirl, which I watched it for probably half a season and off and on after that for the next couple seasons, and it wasn't for me. Some of the CW shows are kind of hit or miss, but he played Mon-El, which is the Legion of Superheroes kind of Superboy from the future. And he's a good actor. I think he did okay with the material he was given. But he played in the show Supergirl. Pretty good guy. Then we've got Kevin Conroy, who plays Merman. We've got Mark Hamill, who plays Skeletor. Justin Long is Roboto, which fucking Justin Long, man. Anything he's in is phenomenal. Just a funny guy. I don't recognize the actor who plays Man-at-Arms, which anyone that knows me knows. Man-at-Arms is my favorite Masters of the Universe character, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him. I don't recall seeing Man-at-Arms in the promotion, the trailer. If he was in there, I didn't see him, and I haven't seen him with. I haven't seen him in any of the toys. The toys were a couple of the good guys, a couple of the bad, but no Man-at-Arms, which I was really disappointed with. So yeah, I have no idea who that is. I have no idea Robert Pearson. But so, like, just the fact that they have Man-at-Arms in the series, I'm very excited, because I was kind of nervous, like, oh man, are they going to kill him off early on? Because he's nowhere to be found. Like, I saw Fisto, and then I'm not sure who the black dude is in that is. I mean, I recognize the toy, but I don't remember his name. So the fact that they're giving kind of obscure characters from the toys their chance to shine, I'm like, hell yeah, that's what's up, because that was one thing that they didn't really do a lot of the times in the old cartoons, was give some of the old or the obscure characters chance to shine. So I'm glad to see some of those, stand up, and get their chance to shine in this cartoon. Now, one of the critiques that the series has taken is that they feel like this is going to be kind of a bait and switch for Teela. I know in one of the behind the scenes thing had Kevin Smith talking about Teela and her girlfriend, which was something that was not put in. That was something that was never addressed really in the 80s cartoon, was sexualization of characters or boyfriend, girlfriend. It was basically just stories, and everyone's personal lives were kind of left out of the loop. To me, it doesn't really bother me as much. To me, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I hate when people do that just to do it. But to me, since it was never really addressed, it's like, well, it kind of just fleshes that character out a little bit more, so it doesn't really bother me as much. To me, Teela was always that character that she kind of antagonized Adam. you know, since her father was, yeah, there was a lot of homoerotic stuff in He-Man. Yeah, it was kind of, there was a lot of underlying tones there. You know, so nothing really bothers me with what they do, as long as it makes sense and stays true to the character. Um, you know, so it doesn't really bother me. What does bother me is when they, like I said, when they do it needlessly. Like if they were to make Man at Arms gay for no reason, like to me, it's like that doesn't make sense. Um, it's one thing if they made him, like, you know, say bi or something, where I'm like, okay, well, you know, there's nothing that contradicts that, so okay, I could buy that, because that happens in real life. But you know, there's nothing to contradict Teela having a girlfriend, so you know, they've never established that. You know, so I know there are some people who wanted you know, Adam or He-Man and Teela to get together, but that's fan fiction. That's something that people have made up and pretended since they were kids. But that's nothing that was ever established in the cartoon. So for me personally, I have no problem with her having a girlfriend. Um, yeah, that's exactly. Duncan and Sorceress were the parents of Teela in real life. Yeah, Duncan being Man at Arms. No, and you're absolutely right. And that's something that they never touched upon in the series. Like, Teela was supposed to have that sorcerer, you know, kind of stepping up as Sorceress arc, and that's why this storyline does not bother me. And that was one reason why I felt like touching upon my thoughts on Masters of the Universe Revelation is the fact that we never touched upon that Sorceress storyline in the old cartoon. You know, it was always alluded to that she had a greater destiny, and the fact that we're touching upon that here. Now this series is supposed to come out. It's a limited series, which is why we don't have any talk of a season 2. But it's a limited series. It's supposed to be 8 episodes, I believe, and it's supposed to come out July 23rd, which is a couple weeks. And I'm excited for this. But we are, you know, we're supposed to get this. You know, when they talk about, you know, a story that we've been waiting for 35 years, you know, it doesn't bother me to get this story of Teela, because we never got that from the old series. And the fact that we had this massive battle, if Teela's going around to all these heroes, and if the focus isn't necessarily so much on He-Man, because you know, a lot of stories will tell a story of, you know, the hero kind of falls, and then a secondary character will come up and has to go around and gather everybody to kind of put that hero back on the pedestal and be like, look, snap out of it, man. We got to fucking go, you kick some ass. Come on, let's do this. To me, that's the perfect arc for Teela, to come and get He-Man back and to step up into her role as like the new sorceress, or, you know, telling of getting the power of Grayskull back. To me, it just makes so much sense to tell this type of story in that type of world that you've created, especially with not only the power of Grayskull at stake, but the universe itself. Because I mean, if you go back to like the He-Man movie, you know, when Skeletor grabs the power of Grayskull, he becomes that god, and you know, that's the power that's at stake. So to me, this makes so much sense. I don't think it's a bait and switch at all. To me, I just think it's a continuation of what we were getting, and I think that's fucking wonderful. And from what it was saying, from what I've gathered, and from what I've heard, you know, it starts off like the first 5 or 10 minutes. It's very much like the old classic cartoon where it's everything's peachy keen and hunky dory, and then it gets dark really fucking quick, and then it switches to where, you know, we see from the previews. And to me, that's the perfect way. You know, that's perfect. That's the perfect way to fucking tell this type of story, because it gives us the nostalgia we're looking for. It perfectly matches the old world, and then something tragic happens, this fucking epic battle, and then shit hits the fan, and we're like, oh shit just got real, and then we go from there, telling the story that you know Teela, you know, and everything kind of falling apart, and then we have to rebuild. And to me, that is a great story to tell. It's a story that needs to be told. And as any filmmaker would tell you, you know, at least one that's not after a paycheck, when you go to make a film, you look at the story and you go, does this story need to be told? And as I look at what they're showing us, I think it does. When I look at the 2002 series, I felt that that story needed to be told. I love the fact that it was serialized. I love the direction that they were going. I've watched there's a toy maker that was behind the toys, behind the 2002 toys, and I collected that entire. My brother and I collected both sets. I collected the good guys. He collected the bad guys, but we collected those action figures. So I followed that guy who crafted those toys, and he had the arc of where they were going to go for each season, for I think up to like season 7. But it was very detailed of where they were going to go had the series progressed, and it was very good, very detailed, and it went up to like where Adam would eventually, I think it was like season 6, Adam would eventually be like the king, to where you actually delved into like all these other lesser known characters where, then Adam's son would become Hero. I think like season 5 was like She-Ra's season, and you fought the Horde, and it was so fucking massive on how they spread their characters out and brought in all these lesser characters, but each season would give you a new wave of toys and all these, so many nods to these toys that we collected as kids. But it would be such a wonderful wave of, wow, now this is a reason to bring back all of these toys, but in a new fashion, and a new season for new packaging, a new season, and it was wonderful. But again, it had that, does this story need to be told? So as I look at Revelation, it's very exciting because I know some people get into the nitpicky of, was Kevin Smith a fan? Is he not a fan? Well, this tweet says he wasn't, but this tweet now says he. And my thing is, fuck off, man. Because how many things on our own personal pages contradict each other? 1 week we're mad at this person, another week we're great with this person. Things change. And people misspeak all the time. Lord knows I have. So I wish people would stop giving him shit, and look at what he's trying to do, because I look at it, and again, I see nothing but positivity, and I'm not kissing his ass. I just see something where he's trying to put a lot of heart into it. He's obviously put a lot of thought into it. He's put, talented people behind it, and nobody goes to make something that, they're trying to fail. Yeah, the reboot of He-Man on Cartoon Network 15 years ago. No, that's the one I'm talking about, the 2002 reboot. No, that's the one I'm talking about, the one that lasted 2 seasons. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Like I said, Zam, there's a guy, and I'll try to find the link sometime, because he sits there. He crafted the toys, and he actually did this on his own time because they really didn't want to do much of this stuff. But he had a huge hand in creating the toys. But he also was behind the scenes on the cartoon. But he goes on past season 2, and goes into what was supposed to be season 3, and then what was supposed to be season 4, and what would have been season 5, what would have been season 6, and he goes through like all these characters, which are nods to what we grew up on as kids. Like I said, by like season 7, you would have had Adam been like King Adam, and you would have had his son been Hero, which is of course a nod to the toy Hero. So it's really great, man. Oh, did they make him the adopted father? See, I never picked up on. I don't remember that. Yeah, they made a lot of changes to some of the stuff. I don't remember that they did that. Yeah, they did make some. That was one thing that my brother-in-law, he was pissed about some of those changes, and that was one of the things. Yeah, Grayskull, the original He-Man. Yeah, he didn't like that. My brother-in-law did not like the remake. He did buy the toys. Like I said, he collected no, he collected the good guys. I collected the bad guys, except for Man-at-Arms. I always buy, no matter what iteration of Man-at-Arms it is, I will always buy a Man-at-Arms. And I will always try to buy a Prince Adam because those two are my two favorite characters. But he got the good guys. I misspoke earlier. I said bad guys. He got the good guys. I got the bad guys from that collection of action figures. But he did not like the 2002 reboot of He-Man. I loved it. I did, just because it was serialized. He didn't like the animated, the anime vibe that it had. I didn't mind it so much. I just enjoyed it, just from a continuity story point of view. He's more of a, put in, the classic He-Man, put in, he's more of a put in the classic cartoons. Me, I watch the classic cartoons with my son, but it doesn't hold up to today's standards for me. I can only watch so much of that, while trying to spot that little that little hidden character for the end of the show. That only goes so far for me, but I mean, it has its charm, but I prefer the 2002 series. How are we doing, Ian? How are we doing, man? No, just still haven't. No, and I do plan to do. If you guys will join me in about 20 minutes time, I do plan to do a Star Trek Picard season 2. My thoughts on that. That'll probably be my last show for the day, because I do want to talk about that before I get off for the day. So yeah, if you guys. I'll probably jump off here in a second to go get myself a coffee, and then give myself a few seconds to freshen up on Star Trek Picard season 2 stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that was the thing from the 2002 series. Like, who was Teela's real father? To me, if you were gonna make like the thing that made the to me, I really enjoyed the original series, because it was Duncan and Sorceress, and that was, the fact that she didn't know Sorceress was her mom, like that made it special. I don't know. I like, just changing it up like that is it to me, it's like Duncan's her dad. It's always going to be her dad. Like, you can't change that. Like, that's her dad. So I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see where they go with this new series, though, because it's, to me, I really hope that they're having her step up her destiny with the Sorceress storyline. So that's yeah. So anyway, I digress. So let me check here. So yeah, big cup of coffee. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, so let me get off here. I'm gonna go grab myself a big cup of coffee. And that being said, let me get on here, and I will see you guys in about 15 minutes. 5:15, I will start the Star Trek Picard season 2 show. And with that in mind, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.